I'm Shae Russell from mining.com.au, and joining me today is Glenn Jessome, the CEO for Silver Tiger. Glenn, welcome to Boca Raton.
Shae, what a beautiful time we're having with Rick Rule here in Boca, and wow, what a turnout here, incredible.
It certainly is, and nobody should have this much fun doing work for a living.
Yeah, it's a little warm, but it's pretty nice. But we've been so busy. I mean, this is where all the silver investors are, and boy, are they excited, and we're excited. We're silver miners. We've been in Mexico for a long, long time, almost 30 years. Our group has built 3 mines in that period of time, and we've sold 3 more during that period to majors. So, you know, we always rely on our track record, our institutional following to build mines. That's how we win, not by the price going up and down, by creating an economic deposit you can mine. And you know, 7 years later and $125 million later, we're just delivering our feasibility study that we'll build on for the Tiger in August. So it's been a wonderful 7 years.
Well, what a pleasant surprise for me, and also guess who got caught out not doing her homework. So basically, you guys aren't a fly-by-night explorer just coming into you know, prove up you can do a silver mine.
No.
You're experienced. You know what to do. You know how to get these rocks out of the ground.
People don't understand, and is it 1 in 1,000, is it 1 in 10,000? Different smart people will tell you it is, that actually go from that first drill hole to become a mine. We've done that serially, and we've now tick the box that El Tigre, our asset in Sonora, Mexico, is that. You know, you got to follow the money a little bit, okay?
Okay.
Everybody said in the last 3 years, you can't raise any money for a silver project, especially in Mexico. Well, we did $75 million in bought deal financings. All of the biggest financial institutions, investment banks in Canada and the US led those deals for us. Bought deals, straight up common shares, no warrants. And the vast majority of the money that we took in the last 3.5 years was from Franklin Templeton Precious Metals Fund, Van Eck Precious Metals Fund, Sprott Asset Management, the largest silver fund on the planet, and Merck, a specialist in silver fund out of San Francisco. So we've used that well, and we put an MRE out last fall, a PEA last fall, and now our PFS, which we will build the project on in August before Beaver Creek and Denver, the big gold shows in September. So, you know, I can tell you a little bit, I mean, don't have a lot of time, but a snapshot of what we've got so far and what economically it looks like, I'd be more than happy to share that.
Well, that's exactly what I want to talk about. Okay, so tell me what the sexy numbers are about El Tigre.
So look, we've done almost a couple 100,000 meters of drilling in that 7 years since we acquired this in 17. We acquired a public company and delisted it, and then moved the asset into Silver Tiger and got to work. And look, these are going to be, we got a short time, I can't break down all the numbers, but let's call it a couple of 100 million silver equivalent ounces already in the MRE last fall, which is a big number. There's an open pit and underground portion of that. We delivered a PEA on the Stockworks zone in the November of last year. Incredible numbers, low CapEx. I mean, 300 million NAV right out of the gate, all US dollars, 58% IRR. We're a low-cost producer, lowest quartile. You know, we're talking $10 production cost for silver, all-in sustaining of 11.
That's impressive.
So what now happens, we just finished another 40,000 meters of drilling here since the fall, and we'll deliver a PFS, a pre-feasibility study, for the first phase of the project in August. We've been busy.
Yeah, you've certainly been busy. I love companies, and I've probably overused this, and I'm sure somebody's going to get sick of me saying it, but this is operation by stealth. You're just getting on with business and doing what you need to do.
You know, here's how it has to work. There are ups and downs in the market, and a lot of companies have to stop because they can't raise capital during the hard times. And so when the good times come, which are now $31 silver, then you have to pick up the tools and say, okay, now I got a year or two's work to finish. What we do is we never stop. So during that 5-6 years I told you about, it was tough in the market. It was tough to raise capital. 3 years, the last 3, we've raised 75 million US or Canadian, all bought deal financings. But that allowed us to be now, when you're right on the precipice of an amazing silver market, which we think for the next several years, well, we're going to be building our mine over the next year or so and producing silver in a great market. So you can't stop. The real successful companies always have one goal: from the first drill hole get to production. And that's what we've done at Silver Tiger, and we're right there.
I want to lightly touch on the politics behind your project in Mexico. Now, there's obviously been some news in the headlines about how the previous Mexican government were going to ban open pit mining. Tell me, will that implicate your company at all?
Look, no.
Great.
I'm going to tell you, and we've been patient with this. The previous administration, Mr. AMLO, Democratic elected, has the right to run his company as he sees fit. The people of Mexico put him in power. He was not a big supporter of mining, really no mining project permits were issued. We didn't need any. We don't need ours until the fall, early this year. So we just did all our work. Now, there was a lot of rumors out there, a lot of noise coming from, not fake news, I would never say news is fake, but that he was going to ban open pits, he was mining, he was going to ban mining. Well, the election's over, and AMLO is now going to leave office in October in the transition. He didn't do any of that.
No.
He didn't do any of that.
He made a lot of noise.
But I kept saying, not screaming in the dark, but look, we never ever thought there'd be ban on mining. But a lot of people started talking, it got momentum. But now I'm sitting here going, well, guys, where are all these people that said it was going to happen? Because it didn't happen. I'm sure they're going to come out and say, we're sorry we gave you the wrong information. They're not. But that's okay. So the new administration, let's talk about that. Claudia Sheinbaum's a brilliant person. Nobel Prize laureate winner, ran Mexico City incredibly well as the mayor, brought all kinds of private investment into the city to help run it and manage it. She basically has been in power since, she won in June, June 2nd, I think it was, on a Sunday, and she immediately, which shocked us, and I'm going to show you where folks can go look at this. We don't have time in 5 or 10 minutes to get into it. But what she came out with in 36 hours after being elected, she appointed her finance minister. And we were like, wow, that's... And that finance minister, within 36 hours, made a public 3 or 4 minute statement on a conference call to every financial institution in the world, Wall Street, London, blah. And basically, I'm going to tell you where you can go listen to it.
Yeah, please do.
But the gist of it was, we're open to foreign investment. We're pro-business. Canada, U.S., Mexico free trade agreement is very important. And it was just a message on give me time to get into the position on October 1st, and we're going to show you how we're going to run the economy of the company. That was number one. Most important thing we've seen so far is she appointed Marcelo Ebrard as her Minister of Economy a couple of weeks ago. We have watched him for a long time in Mexico. He is pro business. He's the person who was responsible for negotiating mainly and taking care of the Canada-U.S. free trade agreement. And he's made some speeches since then, which we pay attention to in Mexico. And he has basically come out and said, we're open to business, foreign investment, nearshoring, Canada-U.S. free trade agreement is a priority for us. So we see the messages coming. Now, what I did, the Mining Journal out of London last week, I did a 45-minute deep dive with them only on the election.
Yes.
And that 3 or 4 minute message that was delivered 36 hours after she had came into power, Claudia Sheinbaum, that's embedded in the interview. So if you guys really want to know facts, not, oh, here's what was going to happen, which didn't happen. Go listen to that, because we've been there a long time and we've been very methodical in thinking about this. We're very excited with where we see things going, and we never ever thought we wouldn't get our permits. That's why we did what we did to now.
I love the confidence.
Now, where you can go to our website, under investors, and there's a tab there, CEO interviews. I do an interview basically every week to keep all of our shareholders up to date. That was last week. It's posted there. Go have a look at it if your clientele's interested.
What I'll do is I'll actually pop a link to that interview in today's video, because I think that's really important to demystify some of the conflicting information.
Absolutely, we'll get you that link. I think it'd be very, very, very important for people to look at that.
Yeah, and I really like that. We were discussing internally this topic just recently, which is why I brought this question up for you. One more tidbit that I don't want to leave without talking about this, especially too coming from Australia. We understand water is a precious asset. You guys have an underground water resource, don't you? This is what you're using on site.
We're very, look, we think water management is always important in mining. We do think that going forward, water management in building any new mine, especially in Mexico, we kind of know where Claudia Scheinbaum came from. We know, we try to understand the organization or the government under which we're going to have to operate and invest. We've invested hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars into Mexico, which has been very good for the country, and we want to keep doing that. So we try to understand what the government is going to do. I think water is going to be important to them.
Yep.
We're very, very fortunate at LT Gray. We have just on site already, without any external sources, more than 50% of the water we need from our own wells, from the underground mine that has a large water because it's flooded from level 7 down. So we think it's going to be very important, but we're in a very good position in regard to that.
That's fantastic, and I always love to address it because
that's
it
right,
is
you
an
should.
important
Absolutely.
resource, and investors should keep their eye on it.
Absolutely.
Listen, it's great to be talking to a low-cost silver miner in this
Thank you.
market.
Thank you.
In a country that was probably written off 6 months ago because of the noise that was coming out. So it's basically
way overdone.
Way overdone.
Yeah, but that's okay. That's how it works.
Exactly, that's how it works. That just creates opportunities for eagle-eyed investors.
Absolutely. We think that the re-rating Mexico is going to have here. Forget just in general, the mining industry, the next 6 to 8 months is going to be incredible, and we'll be a big part of that.
Listen, Glenn, I'm really excited for everything you've just told me about. Thank you so much for being here today, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the Rule Symposium.
Shae, it's been a pleasure, and thank you so much for taking the time.
No worries. And also, too, I love that we're the best dressed people here.
I was going to mention that. Thank you.